Passengers stranded at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after refusing to pay for quarantine. Tanzanian President Pombe Magufuli has refused to shut down churches and mosques because he says coronavirus is from the devil and the devil cannot survive in church. It gets crazy in Malawi, where opposition leader Lazarus Chakwera has called for a political rally, get this, to teach Malawians how to avoid contracting coronavirus. And South Africa is Africa's most affected country with coronavirus currently, with 402 confirmed cases. Let's talk about that. Hey, what's up guys? I'm XT Ndela. So before I start, I gotta give a big shout out to my guys at William Lawson for hooking up a brother with this during quarantine. And the most amazing bit about the goodie bag I got is this big deck. Yeah, it's actually called the big deck, the Highlanders big deck. Now what this is a truth or dare drinking game from William Lawson. Yeah, let me not go through this because it's crazy. But I'm gonna leave a link on the description box below. You gotta follow it. It's on Jumia right now at a discounted rate, only using that link, so better get it. So back to the story. Kenya just confirmed one new case of coronavirus, bringing the number to 60. Now this happened after a priest who traveled into the country was found to be coronavirus positive. Now this priest traveled all the way from Italy. He landed in South Africa, came to Kenya. When he landed to Kenya, he went to Utawala to meet a few friends, took a bus from Nairobi all the way to Siaya. When he got there, he presided over a funeral. He presided over a funeral where hundreds of people came through. Then on Sunday, he presided over mass where hundreds of other people came through. After that, he interacted with people, went to people's homesteads, and later on, he was found to have coronavirus. You see, now the problem is people do not listen to government. People do not listen to Kenyans, please quarantine. If you're flying into the country, please quarantine. And speaking about quarantine, currently passengers are stranded at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after refusing to be quarantined by the government.
Those who are willing to go to different hotels have been at own cost. It's a choice of hotels to be negotiated for them. There is 4 points at the airport, Sheraton. There is a garden Hilton at the airport. And there is a Crown Plaza. The price negotiated to $90 per day. 9,000. We don't have information as yet.
Yes, give us information.
I'm giving information.
Yes, give us information.
Hivi ya corona, mimi nimekataa. Corona cannot be a business.
Please, give us information.
I'm involved.
You can sit down, it's okay if you don't want information. Give us information. Please give us information.
Now this comes after passengers felt as if the government is trying to extort them by having this crazy figures on accommodation that they didn't have budgeted for. So the government has partnered with Kenyatta University and KMTC, and these two institutions that have government links are charging 4,000 Kenyan shillings a day. Now that's $40. In a span of 2 weeks, you're paying 56,000 Kenyan shillings. That's $560. And the hotels that have partnered with the government are charging 9,000 Kenyan shillings a day. 9,000 Kenyan shillings a day. We're talking about 126,000 Kenyan shillings. That's $1,260 of money you did not budget for. You see, guys have been sending me videos from the airport, and they're crying out and saying, if government can actually just let them go back home and they'll follow the quarantine procedures and yada yada. To some extent, I do understand where the government is coming from. It cannot risk having a lot of people contracting the virus from these people who just flew in. In the other hand, I also feel for these people did not budget for this money. See, one of the things that that's making most of people travel right now is because you want to go back home, you want to go back somewhere that you feel safe. And chances are high, you drained all your savings, all your finances, and you're just traveling for the sake of traveling. You really didn't want to travel. Your job is done, everything's done, school is not going on anymore, and you just want to go back home. Guys at the airport right now who are stranded there have been calling me and saying the government was given a lot of money by the World Bank. Can they just set aside a few millions for the next 2 weeks to quarantine these people that are coming in? To some extent, they make sense, and I do feel for them. But to some extent, I also feel for the government. So tell me what you think on the comment section below. And still in Kenya, a man coughed, collapsed, and died in a Mombasa-bound bus at Motito Ande. Now, the driver of the bus said the man started coughing, and when they got to the Motito Ande stopover, he just coughed, collapsed, and died. Now, the police have currently put all the people in the bus in quarantine, and they're sanitizing, or rather fumigating the bus. Now this comes after a lot of Kenyans are now traveling up country. They're traveling away from Nairobi, thinking that Nairobi has coronavirus, it's the epicenter of coronavirus, and up country there's no coronavirus. You see, the thing is, I've been telling a lot of Kenyans, please do not travel. You see, one of the reasons why Italy is experiencing a lot of deaths and a lot of infections is because people started running away from Rome, started running away from all the cities that had coronavirus. So if we can just stay put, stick indoors, just stay in the house, do not move, because chances are high, if you are moving from your home going to the bus stop and all this yada yada, chances are high you're going to contract the virus in between all this movement, and you're going to take it back to the village. And what are the chances that the village medics are better than in Nairobi? So think about that. Stay at home, guys, please stay at home. Down in Tanzania, President John Pombe Magufuli has refused to shut down churches and mosques, saying that coronavirus is from the devil and the devil cannot survive in church.
Tanzania, tusiogope kwenda kumtukuza na kumsujudu Mungu katika imani zetu, kila mmoja kwa wakati wake. Na ndiyo maana sisi kama sisi serikali hatukufunga ibada misikitini wala makanisani, kwa sababu tunajua huku kanisani na misikitini ndipo kwenye uponyaji wa kweli, kule ndiko palipo na Mungu. Na ndiyo maana hata nilivyokuwa na komunika hapa sikuogopa. Korona ambaye ni shetani aweza kukaa kwenye mwili wa Yesu, atakuwa ameshaungua huko mbali.
Now, if you think that's not crazy enough, now off to Malawi, where the official opposition leader of the Malawian Congress Party, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, has, get this, called for a political rally to teach Malawians how to avoid contracting coronavirus. Now this comes after the president of Malawi, Dr. Peter Mutharika, declared coronavirus a national disaster, even though the country has not recorded any or confirmed any coronavirus case. The government set aside 2.5 billion Malawian kwacha, equivalent to $20 million US, just to be able to contain this and to be able to be ready in the event that coronavirus actually gets into the country. Now, South Africa is going to be locked down this Thursday, March the 26th, in a bid to control the spread of coronavirus. Now, this comes after the country recorded 128 new cases in the past 24 hours, making South Africa the most affected country in Africa, with a total of 402 confirmed cases.
My fellow South Africans, it is a week since we declared the coronavirus pandemic a national disaster and announced a package of extraordinary measures to combat this grave public health emergency. As a consequence, the National Coronavirus Command Council has decided to enforce a nationwide lockdown for 21 days with effect from midnight on Thursday, the 26th of March.
You see, guys, now things are becoming real in Africa. Countries are shutting down. And all this is because we want to control coronavirus. If you're listening to me, if you're watching me, please stay at home. Let us not find ourselves in the same place Italy is right now. Let us not find ourselves where US is right now. You see, currently, the States, New York is the new epicenter of coronavirus. 5,707 confirmed cases in the past 24 hours alone. You see, United States has around 40,000 confirmed cases, but New York has 20,875 cases. half of what the whole country is experiencing. Because New Yorkers don't take this thing seriously. They were like, it won't come. Guys, 157 deaths in New York alone. It's crazy. Let's take coronavirus seriously. Spread the word. Stay home. Please, I beg you, stay at home. @XTNDella on Instagram. Let's keep talking.
At